Hello, everybody. Wow, there's already a nice little group of you guys, and there's still 2 minutes. Hello, Andy.
Hey, how's everybody going? How's everybody doing?
Everybody's really excited for this. I have already had
Afternoon.
so many people asking me, "Is this going to be recorded? Are you going to send it out?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, yes, yes," because they can't make it.
I don't think we're gonna break Rebecca's numbers though. I
I
just
don't know. You'd be surprised. I had 20 register, and there's always so many that don't register that just kind of click on and then join. So, are you guys in a little competition right now?
a little bit because I thought she had like 60 or something. I don't know, or
I think she
6,000. I
had
don't know. She was
33 or 35.
okay. She was pretty popular.
She was. She's had the most so far for me. Not gonna
Ah,
lie.
of
But that
course.
was jewelry, your CT bids. So,
I don't
I don't
know.
know. I think you might still take the cake at the end. We'll see. I'll give you a final number at the end. I did just make you host, so you should be able to share your screen and your PowerPoint now.
Should we go ahead and do that right now?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, go ahead. We'll get you ready until give them a couple more minutes to pop in. And
You see that?
yeah.
Okay.
See, you're already growing. We're already at 12 right now. Just in a minute.
Woo!
Yeah, I know you guys are probably really competitive with each other, huh, Andy?
No, we're a great team, but she gives me a hard time since hers was such a success, though.
Yeah, she really did have a lot of people on hers. Well, thanks for doing this again. I know there's going to be a lot of people that probably have some great questions for you, which is awesome.
Hey, Roseanne, how are you?
I'm good, Andy. How are you?
Good. Everything going well for you?
It's okay. We have to catch up. I have to, I need some advice.
I'm here if you need me.
I'll catch up.
Of
Got
course,
one
if
of
you
those
want,
clients.
of course, you want to invite me down there, and I would enjoy my time in Hilton Head. That'd be good.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, I would love that.
Because you guys aren't that far apart drive-wise, right?
It was about 3 hours.
3 hours,
Oh, no.
yeah.
Okay. So it
Not bad.
was, all right. Yeah. Everything to me is about the Savannah bananas. That's where you're close to.
Yeah,
Savannah
it's
bananas.
I am closer.
We won't get into that call, but all right, Andy, let's go ahead and get started. So everybody else will kind of just trickle in, but we don't want to be late and I want to give you all the minutes that you can. So, um, thank you again, Andy Beard. Everybody, this is Andy Beard, your CT Bids guru these days, breaking records, breaking numbers, just everything. So he's going to come on and kind of just talk to you about all things CT bids related, primarily based around tracking, what to track, promoting it, how to grow your bidder base, and just how to really just be successful all around. So thanks again, Andy Beard. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to you. And I'm gonna be in the chat just in case anybody want to ask questions as it goes. I'll try to feed him in as he's got some breaks or ask him sort of towards the end when we break out into the Q&A section. So just know I'll be here in the chat if anybody wants to chime in.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming today. This is fun. I love teaching. I love talking about CT bids. I feel bad about talking so much during this thing. So I hope at the end we have some great questions. So write them down or put them in the chat if you have any questions. But yeah, my name is Andy Beard, and my wife Rebecca and I own Carrying Transitions of Augusta. So currently we have 3 territories. That is Augusta, Georgia, Aiken, South Carolina, and our newest territory, which is Lake Oconee and Greensboro, Georgia. We've been in business since January 2020, and we hit the ground running with CTBids right before COVID. We use that to our advantage. No excuses. So we were not going to back down from COVID at all. So we're going to start the presentation. This is our team here. This is our Christmas party this last year. So we have currently around 24 to 27 employees across the territories, and they all do a variety of different things for us. I need to focus on, kind of an outline of what we want to talk about. And so When I was in grad school, we had the 3 A's: accountability, accessibility, and advocacy, and I added advancement on there. And I wanted to kind of create our presentation based on the 4 A's and an online auctions. And I hope it makes sense for you. Let me move this out of the way. So we did start our franchise with the first sale in January 2020. So we went live in January. We were very fortunate, had one great client right out the get-go, and I was excited about it. With COVID, we were forced to grow our business backwards because we could not do a lot of marketing out in senior living communities. So, and anywhere else. So we decided to use CTBids and use that as a platform to get our word out there with social media, Facebook, Instagram, any way we could do it. Each sale that we had was a way for us to grow and let people know that Caring Transitions and CTBids was going to be a dominating force in this market in Augusta, Georgia. We wanted to be the #1 liquidation company in Augusta, and we are at this moment. When we first started out, and I remember in our business plan, when we did our Cincinnati training, I think there were like 30 estate sale companies, but now when you go to estatesales.net, I only see about 4 or 5 maybe hanging around doing sales on a monthly basis. So I think we've scared a few of them off, and I love competition. I love mom and pops. I don't like said we need competition to be good. But I really want to be the #1 in our area. We focused on volume, and you probably see that if you visit our sales site. We believe in volume because every sale we have is an opportunity to market our company. So what we do on estatesales.net, if you go there and put Augusta, Georgia in, we always title each sale Caring Transitions of Augusta Presents. So when any potential client or bidders, we do this on estatesales.org as well, they can see Caring Transitions all over the map when you look and see which locations have the most sales, and we always do on there. So each sale you have is an opportunity to get the word out there about what you do and how you do it. It's a chance for you to brag about yourself. Yes, I do some sales with 50 auction lots. Some people say, oh, don't do that. But if it's quality 50 auction lots, I will do it. It's an opportunity to get out there. So but we had that mindset from day one. And this gets to the next point here. Know your numbers. And I know Sheree wanted me to focus on metrics. And our philosophy when we first started, I wanted to learn everything about CTBids. I didn't want, I hate to say it, I didn't want Andy Lesser or Tracy Lewis. They were going to be there for a resource for me if I needed their help. But I wanted to learn how to do a campaign, how to import bidders. I wanted to know how many brand new bidders I imported yesterday when the sale went live. We know that every month we probably bring in about 150 to 200 brand new bidders to our site. Know your numbers. Know if your marketing is doing well, for your sale. I mean, you just have to know them inside and out. So in 2020, for the whole year, we had 68 sales. We had a pretty solid first year, a 98.5% sell-through, and we averaged $44 per lot, and that's before buyer's premium. It took a little ways to get to build up for that. I think when we first started, we were around $30 per lot. So some of you new owners, when you get started and you have that $30, $40 per lot, do not let that disappoint you. Do not that's a starting point. You've got to start there. As your bidder base gets bigger and bigger, as you learn the process, as you learn how to take great pictures and how to lot, know your numbers, what's selling for your market, what's not selling. Trust me, China hutches sell in Augusta, Georgia, but they do not sell in Arizona. So Chuck Wolf always gives me a hard time by saying, Andy, I'm going to ship all my China hutches to Augusta, Georgia. So it's just an ongoing joke that we have. So things sell in certain markets, but know what's hot in your market. Do not listen to owners in New York of what's hot and what's not. Know your area. In 2021, we want to continue growing. Our goal for each year, I really want to double our numbers. I was pretty aggressive. So in 2021, we had 108 sales, 99% sell through, and we increased our average per lot. We think we increased it because we did not want to sell everyday glassware. Maybe it's linens. Maybe we want to donate those things, but really giving a lot of coaching and feedback to our team, what's selling and what's not selling. but really just kind of looking at every sale at a time and really analyzing your business. In 2022, we did 150 sales. We increased our sell through a little bit, and our per lot average even increased up to $66 per lot. That's without buyer's premium. So some of that, yes, we sold a lot of cars sometimes. We have some jewelry. So a lot of that stuff's going to drive up your sell through. I mean, your average per lot. But you got to know what's selling and what's not selling in your market. In 2023, 178 sales. That $65 per lot went down a little bit. I think I increased my buyer's premium from 15 to 18%. So my numbers, I didn't analyze every single month. I can't remember when I went to 18%.
It was probably after the conference, because I noticed a lot of owners after conference in
We
New
all
Orleans
talked.
spiked up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
someone said, I'm going to 18. 18 is actually
yeah.
my lucky number. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And I only had 2 bidders
Pushback.
probably in the first 6 months that even questioned it. Do not be afraid. It's better for us as a whole brand to go together and do something at once, because other people may complain, well, you're only at 15%, but you know what? I haven't had any problems with 18%. Trust me, I'd rather have that little bit extra money if I can. So I think 18 is a good number. I hear some other owners are going to 20, but I think I'm comfortable right now at the 18%. 2024, we dropped a little bit. If you're familiar with the hurricane that came through Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina, South Carolina into last year, our business almost shut down for October, November, December, because it was just massive destruction, and a lot of our clients' homes are destroyed, and so we kind of slowed down there a little bit. But so far this year, a lot of clients are coming back. So we've had 59 sales through the May 4th. And so we're doing pretty good on the sell through, and our average per lot, $70. So we're getting better and better and better. And I think that only comes with coaching. Like I saw today that one of my team members, bless her heart, she did put a dictionary in one lot. And so I gave her feedback. I don't think she's ever seen a dictionary. And I was like, what, do you really feel like that's worth $65 or $70? She's like, well, I didn't know. So, but you need to ask me, you need to ask other people. So I want them to always be thinking about it. One big fat dictionary is not worth that much money. So it's all about coaching. Once again, know your numbers, underline it. Just every single sale you have. Rebecca and I can probably tell you that we've watched every single sale close since January 2020. We never miss one of our sales closing. We get excited about it. We send pictures and screenshots to our clients. They get pumped up about it. Our team members see it. Know your numbers, feel excited about it, and always want to grow. Fight for it. One client, one sale, one step at a time. Just analyze every single sale that you have. Know what's selling, what's not, give feedback, and you're going to continue to grow. I know this is a lot of information, and I really wish we can make it more interactive. Y'all can stop me, but let me just kind of give you an overview. I want to talk about accountability. And I think I was in New Orleans. I did a presentation. When was that? A couple years ago now. That I think I may have been the only person that stood up and talked about employee training and how that was very, very important to be successful. Empower the employees with platform knowledge, photos, lighting, staging. When I hire an employee, they spend the first 3 days with me in the office. We go through every one of our sales. I set the expectations. I let them know that Ray, probably, and Joel and everybody look at our sales every day. So there's a lot of pressure. I tell them, we're going to make this look great. There is a lot of pressure right now. But one of the things I started was, me with all my letters. So now I had the 4 M's back then: measurements, makers / model, material, and movement. So some of you in this group today, I know, like Roseanne and a few others, I've trained. So when I train my employees, that when they do an auction lot, in the description, I want them to keep it basic. I do not want a diary entry for every auction lot. I make a joke that, I had employees that had a whole stack of romance books, like, oh, imagine this summer you can sit on the beach and read all these books on the beach and have your romance dreams or something. No, just tell me, you don't need to measure books, but maybe just get a few titles in the title. If it is a dining room table, what type of material is it, if you can, the measurements. I mean, just the basics is all you need. And so I'd want to create a standard for that, but you got to put something in the description box. Do not put dining room table. You've got to pretend like, not pretend, you've got to care for what you're selling. I'm going to some of the other online auctions. I'm watching them over there, and it's like we just take pictures and put them online. You've got to care about these items, and because guess what? Your clients are looking at that. It makes it look like you don't really want to sell their stuff. I'm not trying to be critical, but I just want to let y'all know this is what you need to do for success. And we've been doing this since day one. But you do not need to put a whole book in each description.
Mm-mm.
Consistent sales structure. Everybody always asks when we first started. Of course, we had pickups on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then it was Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So we're pretty consistent right now. We'll try to be. We have so many sales that we end up every day of the week. Some owners say, well, if you have 3 or 4 sales live, don't they compete against each other? No, they all have different things. Don't be afraid to let the sales fly, and everybody's going to be bidding on it. It becomes addictive. You want CT bidders out there to be addicted to your site. One day, I think probably in the last 4 years, I had 0 sales on my site. You would have thought I was going out of business. It was in the newspaper. People were saying, what's going on? Where are your sales? That's what you want. You want people to freak out. No, we're not going out of business. But be consistent with your sales structure, meaning your sales formats, your titles. If you have a small kitchen essentials lot, you say that it's got a Keurig and a Sanyo or whatever, put brand names in it. Anytime someone clicks one time on your lot, the percentage goes way up that they're going to at least place a bid. Make it look great. And one of the things I did put in every single sale that I have, I used to call it something, oh, antiques galore or something like that. But I listened to my bidders and they wanted to know what part of Augusta it was in. And I'm in a lot of nice neighborhoods. And so I started putting the neighborhood name in every sale, the title that I have. So it may be walking through Whispering Pines or something in Woodside Plantation or whatever it may be. So people are like, oh, that's near my neighborhood. I love that neighborhood. And or let me tell my friends about all this awesome sale in that neighborhood. That's what I've been doing for the last 2 years. I don't know what my magic is, but my numbers are good. I'm sticking to it. And I think it brings a sense of community. And maybe that you're local, that all your sales have a neighborhood name in there. Does that make sense? So clear and uniform invoicing. Remember, I do everything. So when the sale ends, my bidders are trained that they're going to get their invoice that night. They're going to get, I use Shipping Saint. They're going to get the Shipping Saint text and email by 10 o'clock at night. And by 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock the next morning, 50-60% of all my bidders have already chosen the pickup time. And so if I don't send out invoices at 9:30, they freak out and start asking me. So whatever you decide to do, just try to be consistent in everything that you do so your bidders know what to expect. My bidders also expect 10 plus photos. Train my team, say it's like a cha-cha dance. Front, back, side, inside, outside. So we start doing a little cha-cha dance to all the types of pictures we have to do. And I want them to understand that when they take pictures. So it's not about going there just taking 3 pictures of something. You've got to be able to, it doesn't take that long to take a picture. I mean, just snap, 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 snap. We just need some pretty good pictures of all the details.
Andy, can I chime in real quick just with one staff question from Scott Hebert?
Sure.
Okay, it's 2-part question. What's the size of your teams that are working on your CTBids auctions? And then is everybody on that team participating in lotting and picturing?
So right now we have, it could be anywhere, depends on the size of the project. I mean, it could be a 3-person team. It could be a 5-person team. It depends on, when I do a consultation, I can walk through the house and tell you, okay, this is a 200 lot house. Depends on everything, how fast they need to get the house cleared out. Sometimes it's all hands on deck. It could be 5 employees. I have a team supervisor and she just manages the whole operation. She can take pictures if we're short staffed, but I really want her walking around and she coaches, she creates lots. She makes sure everybody's in a good setup location for a particular room. I can't stand it when we create lots in the middle of a dining room table where you can see a lot of stuff in the background. I want a table up against the wall. Is there a staircase that we can use? Is there a top of a piano? Is there a mantle above the fireplace? I mean, they need to really be looking around, being creative where they can take good pictures. But that's what the team supervisor is doing that. If we know there's only 50 lots in a house It may be only 3 employees. If they can do 20 lots a shift, which they should, I know we can get that sale done in one day. We should. If there's not much sorting and organizing. So I don't know if that answers the question. So,
I think it did.
but if there's more questions to that, you can ask me here in a minute. I'm pretty standard on my pickup coordination. My pickup times during the week are usually like a 2 to 6. It could be a 12 to 6. It's a monster pickup, but standard is 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock pickups. When we first started, we had pickups end at 5 o'clock, and I listened to my bidders, and they said, listen, I would bid with you. I get off work at 5. Can you make it to 6? And so we start making all of them at 6 o'clock. And sometimes when I look in the owners network or hear other owners, they're like, well, no, I want the sale to end at 5. That's because you want to be off at 5 o'clock. But what about your bidders? You want those sales. So we have ours end at 6. Our last pickups from 5:30 to 6 in shipping saints. And so most days our bidders are gone by 10 after 6. And our team is scheduled to 6:30 to shut everything down, to make sure everything looks good, take pictures of the house, put it in our Trello project management app so we can see how much of a clean out there's going to be after that. So we have a pretty good coordination of everything. We do, first of all, I will say we do not do picker sales. I'm very opinionated. I think it's a waste of time. If you have horrible items that you feel like is not good enough for the online auction, then why are you wasting time for a picker sale? The pickups are a way for you to, once again, show off how organized you are, how structured you are. And if you've got someone showing up to a picker sale and they're blocking the driveway for 20 minutes and slowing everything down, it's not streamlined well enough for me. I don't make enough money on a picker sale. Now, if it's at a farm and you have barns and you want to do a picker sale, that's fine. But I'm in a lot of gated communities and I cannot shut things down and have people rummaging through tables of glassware. It's not worth my time at all. But we do greeters, of course, and most of y'all probably do that. We do concierge pickups where our employee walks with the bidder to make sure they get everything. And so we usually have about 4 employees at pickups, and we only allow those people to go in the house if they have the bidder with an employee. Because early on we did have bidders, trying to swipe a few things. So we had to enforce this. We had some of those estate sale people can get very handsy and they start picking things away. So we had to stop that. So stick to published times, greeters, track no-shows. We're pretty strict. So if they show up an hour early or an hour late, we will threaten suspension, give them a slap on the wrist. We have to let them know that right now, a lot of people are showing up an hour and 2 hours early. We just can't do that. We're very structured. So, but just remember, just take control of those pickups. That's a time for you to shine in front of your clients. Oh my gosh, this was so smooth. From 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock, you can empty out a house. That's what you want. You want those bidders to come back to bid with you and say, I love your pickups. It is so well organized. It is tough sometimes when you have a neighbor that's not as well organized, because then I had one bidder tell me they didn't like us because we were too structured. I'm like, really? But you do get that sometimes. Client trust, transparent communication about pricing, expectations, timelines. We really tell the clients up front what things may be going for. I know that's a very tough thing, but we are very open and honest. We're not going to tell someone something's going to go for $1 million, but we're very upfront. Sometimes in my proposals, I'll use CTBids. I'll use the search function. I'll do screenshots of what things are selling for on my site, my sales and other sales. And I don't know, I'm doing a deep dive, but I'll tell you about all the metrics and everything. But I send a very detailed financial report, a sales history report. I delete all the bidder information. I send them and I hyperlink all the links on the side, and I do a total breakdown. I'm proud of our sales. I brag about them, and they love the fact that they can see what things are selling for. A lot of times, some local estate sale companies, some of them don't have the technology to do that. But that's part of our transparency that we're selling as part of the online auctions, that they can see what things are selling for, but then we can also give them a report and show proof of what things are selling for. So they really, really love that. I think I got a 5-star review a couple of weeks ago when someone actually said that they were very impressed with the report they got. Spot checklist for errors, weak titles. I'm the auctioneer, so before a sale goes live, I'll do a quick check. I'll see if anything looks special. Yes, I will use ChatGPT. I know a lot of owners are using it. If I feel like if something should be going for $300, I'll spend that little bit of extra time and use ChatGPT with a better description. Rebecca and I are both educators, and we really feel like CTBids is a platform not just to sell stuff, but to educate our bidders. So you got to think about it. You may have some bidders are like, oh my gosh, I got to have this this special thing that's whatever is unique or something. But then maybe someone else may say, well, oh, I just learned something from it. I didn't know that. Maybe I want to bid on it. So if you get enough people to bid on it, it's going to drive the price up. So we have a 1950s wooden phone booth in our sale right now that came, I think, from a bank. But it's local. So we could have just taken pictures and thrown it up there. But what about if we add a little bit more to it and educate the people about it? So, but you can't do that for everything. So we do weekly internal performance. I'll show you some of this later on. We use Connect Team for coaching and feedback. And I tell my team when they're in training, I said, you better be able to handle feedback, constructive feedback, positive, and areas of opportunity. And they said, yes, we can handle it. So we send them the good, we send them where they can do a little bit better. So you've got to have a good team and they have to understand that. Accessibility, the second A, broad reach marketing. I know most of y'all probably do this. This is pretty standard. I'm not in any regional group or anything, so I'm off on my own, which I like. But when a sale goes live, I send out sometimes 3 to 4 emails per sale. You may think, oh my gosh, that's way too much. I don't care. I've done it. Usually just one sale that goes live the day before it closes, the day it closes. And if I feel like it's struggling a little bit, yeah, I'll send one about an hour before it closes. I really want to analyze my numbers. I think I had the highest number of people opting out of my emails, which is fine. I think some people, I do so much advertising. I think that people come in because they want that one item and then they opt out because they don't want to see me anymore. So I have a lot of opt-outs too. But find your top items. I mean, you don't need to showcase a toilet paper roll holder or something from the bathroom, or just make it look nice. Grab 5 or 6 of your best pictures and put it on Marketplace. You don't have to spend much money on Facebook boosting. I do $10, $20 regionally from my Augusta, Aiken area. Some of you I heard left estatesales.net. I did not. I think that's a big mistake. I use my Google Analytics and I get a ton of people still coming from .net, and I advertise $0, but they do the per click thing, but it's only about $30 to $40 per sale that I have, and I think it's well worth it. .org is still growing. I think it's going to get there. I've advertised on .org since we started, and I'm number 8 on the top Georgia estate sale companies, the most viewed companies in the state of Georgia on estatesales.org. So it does work. It just doesn't have the following, but I think it's doing pretty well. It's going to make a pretty good sizable reach here pretty soon. I'm going to kind of skip over the rest of this. I mean, most of y'all know about the marketing. If not, you can probably reach out to me, but you have to advertise a little bit for every single sale. Just it's an opportunity to show off everything that you have. We already talked about user-friendly auctions, clean titles, descriptions. One of the things I've been catching my team, they've been going so fast that they're not putting the exact category. And I've given feedback to the steering committee. I used to be on it. We need to redo the whole category list, and hopefully we're going to be doing that soon. So we may have some sterling silver. My team's getting confused and putting it as silver instead of sterling silver, because sometimes it's in a hard place to find it. But you've got to make sure that your team is understanding where to put things, because the sterling people, they wake up in the morning and look up under all your sterling stuff on CTBids. They start placing bids. But if you got it marked as just silver, then they're never going to find it. They may, but make sure you have the category selected correct. We already talked about the preferred pickup things. Sometimes when to be flexible. I have VIP. I call it VIB, very important bidder. Have VIB clients that have been bidding with us for years. And if they say, hey, Andy, can I come in and look at that grandfather clock? Yes, I'm going to allow them to do it. I will find time, but do not do it for everybody. You're going to kill yourself. But early on, find out who's spending that money and find out how important they are, because that can be one of your best referral options in your area. Find the ones that are spending thousands of dollars on the furniture and things like that. Become best buds with them. Show up at your pickups. Even if you see a sale about to go live and you know that they collect watches or something, let them know. I think this is going to be a big part of the what's our bidder category?
The watch list, are you talking about things that they're looking for, that if they're selling, they'll get notified? Is that what you're
Yeah, it
talking
could
about?
be that. But yeah, I think
Joel's
that's going to be a
pushing for
big
that.
part of it.
Yeah.
But flexible, yeah, I hear some owners saying we don't do weekend pickups, but I save my weekend pickup. I don't do it every Saturday. I don't do every weekend. But when you have monster sales, 200, 250 lots, and you got some nice stuff in it, and if you feel like people are going to be driving from Charleston, Myrtle Beach, 3, 4 hours away to get those items, you may want to have the weekend free for them to be able to come get it on a Saturday, whereas opposed they may be working during the week. So just think about those things and don't be so strict on when you want to work. I know that sounds mean, but I really want my sales. We run a business. We want them to be
Wrap it out.
successful, and we need to be accessible. And that's why this is a category I want to really focus on. Be accessible to your bidders, your clients, everybody. Um, Train staff at pickups. I would probably say 25% of my employees bid in our sales. They love them. Just be careful to start winning their own lots, though. I've they may be up to something fishy. You have to be careful with that. But they are trained. No, when bidders show up for the first time and they have questions about the online auction site, my team is ready. They can answer those questions. So make sure your team is fully trained. They know your clients are well trained. They understand about soft closings and make them feel part of it too. We send a client email when the sale goes live. We put in there the philosophies and why people bid at the last second. They should not be watching the sale every single day because they're going to go crazy. We're very upfront with our clients. We just tell them, you should not just even watch the sale. Let me just surprise you. So, bidder questions, yes, they are annoying. It may be annoying to you, but when we have 5 sales live, we have 5 more times questions that some of y'all do. And they do get reduced a lot when you start to put better descriptions and you take pictures of the model numbers and things like that. We try to train our bidders to find the answers themselves. Hey, is this an electric, this and this? And like, well, the serial number is right there. So we please Google it yourself. Here's a website. They need to start learning how to look at that stuff a lot. So, so advocacy, we advocate for our team. We celebrate their successes. We recognize the milestones. We encourage cross training. We use Connect Team. I'm going to show you, some of y'all may be using Connect Team. We just started using about a year and a half ago. For time punches, for communication, for training, share auction wins and lessons from the office. I mean, across the office. So we do lunches. We celebrate big sales that hit, $15,000 or more. We celebrate that. Advocate for your clients. Educate clients on why auctions outperform traditional estate sales. In my training, like I see Roseanne's on the call, that, be ready. If I get a lead and they say, though, they're trying to choose between a estate sale company and us, man, I'm running in there. I'm ready with my top 10 list. It's usually in my head of how we're better than any estate sale company out there. Why we're better. I mean, heck, if there's a hurricane on Friday, there goes your estate sale. But guess what? We still have CTBids. There's just so many things, and realtors love what we do. So just be ready to fight for your business and know how we're better than a traditional estate sale. How many local and regional bidders do you have? So know that. Just to tell your clients as part of your consultations. We've had 26,000 bidders. I mean, that number's a little bit lower now. Who are your bidders? Have stories ready. Know them by name. You probably don't want to share their name, but we have bidders that have been our clients. They've been bidders with us. They've been our clients again. They've sold their homes. They've used CTBids to decorate their home. And there's a lot of great stories out there because that's one of the client questions is like, who are your bidders? Early on, your bidders will be resellers. It's okay. You need them. They can be annoying. But ultimately what Joel and everybody told me in 2020, once your business starts to grow, you're going to start losing some of the resellers, and then you get more of the private buyers, people that just need your items, but you're always going to need resellers. But right now, I think our prices are too high for resellers, and they can't sell the stuff, which is great. That's what you want to hear. Um, but let your clients know who your bidders are. Advocate for the brand. Consistency in CTBids practices across the country, and we all need to be doing our best on CTBids. Respect your neighbor. If you're in a certain metro area, you all need to be taking great pictures. You all need to be doing videos on some of the lots. Same type of marketing, and we need to be consistent and making sure to take pride in your sales. If you sell something like, what was the other one the other day? The Pokemon cards or something crazy like that. I mean, celebrate those successes. I mean, that gives Kyle and Liz an opportunity for us to just share some stuff and get the word out there about what we do. I think we had one was like an Egyptian vase or something from something BC that we had that went for crazy amount of money, and it was all over the news. And so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I like it when we do that. So share your successes. And one of my big things right now I'm really pushing is support your fellow owners. I mean, even if you don't train with me, I get owners right now calling me, texting me, and I'm open to talking to y'all. And I really feel like that's going to grow our brand. Like today, I've already had 2 owners call me just to talk and talk about just different things. So just support your fellow owners. And if y'all ever need, I'm on that new committee now that for
Mentor.
advice and feedback. So if y'all ever need me, then I'm there if you, not just CTBids, but for anything else too. So I like to talk, as you can tell. Advancement. I feel like we're running short on time, so I'm gonna see if I can skim through this pretty fast.
You got about 25 minutes still.
Okay. Just grow your auction volume, 1 sale a month to 1 a week. Build your systems, not stress. Just focus on 1 sale at a time and just get better and better and better. Oh, there's that word, KPI. Oh, geez. Review KPIs. Just know your numbers, your sales, how much you're averaging per sale, your sell-through rate, your per lot average. Just always trying to get better. I remember when we were coaching our team saying, hey, we got to hit $50 a lot. We got to hit 50. We got to hit, they got tired of me saying that. But now it's 60. Now it's I don't think I tell them 70. I think we just hope we can hit 70. But improve lotting, descriptions, photo standards over time. Train for leadership. This is really big for us. We cross-team train members to manage pickups, listings, and marketing. I mean, if my office manager has to get out there, she can take pictures. My marketing person could take pictures. I mean, we're all a team to get out there. So we've all been cross-trained. People have been promoted. Remember, y'all may agree with me. I think that we've looked at it. It takes about 6 months for an employee to be almost fully trained. There's just so much information. But you can't just do 2 days of training and throw them out in the field. I mean, you're going to have to give them feedback. And it's really hard. I don't have much. I have a pretty good retention rate, but I just can't. I don't like it when I do all this training and someone leaves in 2 or 3 months. But just take care of them, take pride. So expand your marketing reach. If y'all have trained with me, y'all probably have learned that I don't spend a lot of money for marketing, but 2025 is a different story. I just feel like, you know what, I'm gonna see what I can do. So I'm paying a local social media company. They just started this month. We haven't even launched the things that we want to do. I've got my first BDR in 4 years. I know I'm doing everything backwards. That's just me. I'm not by the book. But I felt like I just really need to get out there because I'm starting to hear people. I've been in business now. This is our 6th year. And some people out there saying, I don't know who Carrying Transitions is. And that makes me feel bad, but we are doing very well. But just try to really advance those marketing partnerships and getting the word out there. And lately we had a really nice referral from Home Health. It was a $20,000 sale. So we also did the move into a senior living community. So just, you're not gonna get a lot of them from Home Health, but just shake it up a little bit. I will say realtors is our #1 referral source. Easy, hands down. Presentation overview. Once again, just accountability. Establish reliable systems that build trust with your clients, bidders, and your team. Accessibility by creating clear, user-friendly auctions and adapting to bidder needs. Advocacy by championing the value of online auctions to your clients, supporting your staff, elevating the Caring Transitions brand. And advancement by scaling your business through smart growth, training, and continuous improvement. New owners can use this framework to build consistency, grow revenue, and develop a sustainable, reputation-driven auction business. So these are the 4 A's, which we've been really growing our business. I don't look at this often, and I believe every owner may have access to it, but this is my Google Analytics for CTBids.
We do.
Like the other night when a sale was closing, it gives you live, this is just one screen of it. It tells you how many people are live on your sale at that moment. I see people trying to make the screen bigger.
I know I'm all.
But it'll tell me I have 150 people right there live bidding on my site, and it tells me what auction lot or they're looking at right now. I was like, holy crap. But on this particular screen, I know it's small, but you can see people are coming from my Friend Connect, my email blast, and this is for, oh shoot, I can't tell the time period. This is just for like, April 7th to April 25th. So it shows you how many people are coming from my Friend Connect, 15,000 sessions. And then
Which is
people are
almost
coming
all of
direct.
your bidders. You've got like almost 17,000, I think, contacts in your bidder.
Yeah.
I think so. It's almost
But if
all
you
your
look down,
bidders.
number 5 is estatesales.net. And that's 2,600, and then estatesales.org is 618. So that's coming up. That's just showing you where my people are coming from. And my mobile Facebook one is usually from like my Facebook boost that I do. Don't spend a ton of time on this, but it really is fascinating just to kind of take a deep dive in it, just to see where people are coming from. And once again, this is just CTBids, not for Caring Transitions website. So
If you guys don't have access to this, connect with Kyle. He's the one that can get you this analytic Google access.
and you will get lost in all this data. So don't
Yeah.
just be very careful.
But if you want it, Kyle's your guy.
Sometimes I use Google Analytics just to see what things are like. And it'll tell you what at this moment. I mean, look, on this one, it says in the last 5 minutes that 38 users, and you just kind of get a feel for it. For success, we use Trello. We use the free version, how we do projects. We're always looking for different systems, but right now we're pretty good. The green means for our Aiken territory, purples for Augusta. We just kind of move everything from left to right. We stay very well organized. We have about 7 of our employees that are in the system. They can tag for updates, how well we're doing on projects, when a sale's ready to go live. We analyze pickup reports, which clients need cleanouts. And so we've been using this since day one. And I can thank the Caring Transitions of Charleston when Jessica was there. Jessica shared the Charleston page with me, and she said you can make it your own. So it was another owner that was saying, Andy, I think you can really use this. And so and I've done that with other owners too. So we really need to be sharing our successes, and Trello has been a huge part of our success. We use Connect Team. I know that Austin's using it in Minnesota and a lot of other owners. It's been very successful for us. I will admit, I have not utilized everything I want to do in here, but it is amazing. My number one thing I really want to do is create a training book in there. And so our team members can go in there if they're in the field saying, oh my gosh, what is Andy? How do we take pictures of books or vinyl records? They can type it in there and boom, it pops up the training SOP for records. I want to be able to get to that level. So we haven't gotten a chance to do it yet, but that's where we're trying to get to. So Connect Team works well for us. We use OpenPhone. Sherry Blankenship in the Houston area, she told me about it many years ago, and we've been using it. This is a way that it records the client phone calls, the bidder phone calls. It gives you an AI transcript. It tells you everything. So whereas on the far left, it has Diane at the pickup. She's at the pickup right now, and so you don't have to use your own personal phone. So it's an app. So the bidders and the clients don't have your own phone. This has saved us a lot of trouble. And like after hours, if Sydney gets off at 5, I'm the admin. I can reply back as Sydney if a client calls. So there's one way, once again, talking about accessibility, right? So this is one way we stay in contact with our bidders and stay in contact with our clients after hours if we need to. Celebrate your cool items. Print these up. If you have some, find some of your neighbors, have these ready to take to your consults. Just celebrate your successes. Yeah, I wish I had that Mustang. we're in Augusta, the Augusta National Golf Course. So we sell a lot of Masters stuff. You can see that one for $3,100 Masters tickets.
Girl.
Teak Furniture does very well. There's a gold coin for $2,300. I mean, everybody's got these things, but as you develop your portfolio, if you're, 1 year, 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, just start saving your portfolio. Did you know, as of last week, we've sold 3 Salvador Dalis since we've been here. So, I didn't know people in Augusta would have all that fancy stuff. And thank you so much. That's our presentation.
Awesome. Great job, Andy. I do have just 2 questions floating in the chat, and then I can open it up to everybody else. Roseanne wants to know how you're doing with your BDR in Aiken.
BDR in Aiken, she took another position.
Oh, boo. Okay. Her loss. All right.
But no, we have one BDR now, so she's covering Augusta and Aiken. Our BDR does our consultations as well. So she does marketing about maybe 70% of the time, and she does the consultations in Aiken and Augusta.
Nice. Okay. And then Jennifer Williams wants to know if you can elaborate on the relationship between your watchers and your final bidders.
I know that I can tell when a sale is about to explode when I have 3,000 watchers. I haven't analyzed the data that much when it comes to that, but I do look when, say, if my client's worried about their sale, that's the only time I really look at the total number of watchers. And if I can pull that data and say, look, it's got 2 days to go, I've got 3,000 watches, I said, your sale is going to explode. But I haven't really analyzed it yet by sale to see if there's any metrics involved with that. But I have looked at that a lot. But yeah, that's about the only answer I have for that one, though.
Jennifer's got a massive Fiesta wear. I've never seen a Fiesta wear collection this massive. It's probably going to go into 3 auctions.
Wow.
That's where she's just went live a couple days ago. So, all right. Ken Decker wants to know how you build your relationship with realtors.
There's a couple of main ways. Of course, initially we all do the same thing, but we try to go there and speak to the office manager to see how we can get on their quarterly list to be a guest speaker. Sometimes it's really hard to get on the office manager list, but I usually get in there to do the presentations. But once again, Andy does everything backwards and not by the book. But as leads come in, for one of the first questions we ask, do you have a realtor? And if they say yes, and then when we start researching the realtor. And then when we do the consultation, if we feel like we're going to get that contract signed, then we reach out to that realtor saying, hey, it looks like we're going to work together. So you do things a little bit backwards. And if I see a lead come in, if it says, oh, a realtor, Greg Oldham referred this. And if I ask my BDRs, okay, did you see that lead come in? I said, no, who's the realtor? I said, you should know that already. But that's how we do it. And I'm being honest, everything that I've learned in Cincinnati training, where they said for realtors, you're going to find probably your top 5, top 8 realtors, and those are going to be your babies. Those are going to be the ones that's going to just keep funneling the leads to you. You just have to earn their trust. You got to let them know that what you can do. And we do things, we have a large enough team because we scaled our business up because of realtors. Last week, someone said, hey, Andy, we've got a closing on May 21st. Can you get the house cleared out with an online auction and a clean out? Most people probably be scared to do that. I love challenges. And so we did the consultation, and I said, yeah, we can send about a 4-person team in here because we have enough employees, and we can do a quick sale, 3 days online and get it done. And if realtors, if they say, holy crap, how did you do that? That goes a long way. Those realtors are in their own little Facebook groups for Keller Williams and all these other big ones. And they talk, and we get a lot of leads from them just talking about from one another. But yeah, I would say just a lot of times going there, finding the office manager and setting a time. For the first time ever, remember I told you 2025, I'm spending money. So I did get on the preferred vendor list at Keller Williams, where I am now the person for any relocations and online auctions, estate sales. So I got 1 lead already, and it paid for itself for the first basically 2 months. So
nice. I'm going to ask you this question because I asked Lisa Malvia when she did this in December, but how many realtors would you say you're currently actively working with?
Actively meaning we have a relationship with and they consistently give us
Yeah.
leads.
Yeah.
I'd probably say 10.
Okay. Pretty good.
What, is that not good?
No, that's good. No, yeah, that's good, especially if
I
they're actually
mean,
sending you leads.
they're sending us leads. I mean, Gail Gingrey of Aiken, she probably gives us 2 a month.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I probably get more leads from realtors than anything else.
Yeah.
Just because they know, they trust us, they love us, they know our team. We communicate with them along the way. So you're not just communicating with your clients, you're communicating with the realtor. Hey, we got everything done. We let them know when the pickup date's going to be. When do you need to go in there to do the photos? When are you going to go in and do the cleaning of the detailed cleaning of the house? We have to communicate with them to let them know all these details when we're going to do our final clean out so they can send their pictures and their team in and take pictures or drone footage. And so they're basically our client as well. We've got to be able to communicate with them.
Andy, have you ever done a off-site listing for your real estate agent where you're co-selling the house, like they're selling the house and you're doing the auction at the same time and you're advertising the auction or the house on the auction for them?
No.
Okay. All right. Katie O'Brien wants to know what are the best areas to look to determine what's hot in your market and what's not hot?
A lot of that's kind of determined on your sales. Um, I mean, just look on Facebook Marketplace sometimes and see. But you can look on Worth Point sometimes. It may tell you, but I use it based once you develop that your sales, you start doing more and more sales, you're going to know what's hot. You're going to you're going to see how many auction bidder questions come in about something. You're going to talk to your bidders at pickups. They're going to say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is so good. I can't believe I got this for a good price." Like, what are you talking about? And you just have to start asking questions. I mean, of course, there's the good old standby, the Sterling, the vinyl records, and vintage toys are doing well right now. Jewelry's hot. Of course, I've got to give Rebecca her props. Um, but you just have to kind of start learning looking at what the most watched item in your sale is. That's probably one of the key things. I think more and more as CTBids is growing, we're going to learn a lot from CTBids and what our local bidders are favoriting and what they're watching, what their favorite category is. One lady today told us that we need to be more descriptive on our vintage clothing because it's more valuable than we think. And I was like, really? So does that mean we have? I was like, we take enough pictures of measurements and the sizes and everything. She wants better pictures. Like, okay, you're the only person that's ever asked that. But is that something I need to research? So once again, you got to listen to some of your bidders as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got like a acting community there, it might be something worth your while if they're looking for those kinds of clothes.
Yep.
Are you dabbling at all with your team when you do all the educating and sort of feedback training with the advanced search on CTBids, like what's kind of in your market kind of selling? So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like one answer I would say, Katie, is just leverage what's in that Colorado area on the advanced search for CTBids, like the actual platform. That'll kind of hone in on what's hot in your area. You can specifically just look in that area for you instead of category. You can do
I
both
was
category and
looking,
that area.
I was looking at sometimes if I know there's a new owner, they have their first sale, I can go to advanced search and put in their thing. If they have one sale, it pulls me up and shows me, yeah, if you come here to train, I did look at your sales. Um, that I will look at everything. I just like to look at it and see what things are going for. I like the one guy in Tampa. I don't know if he's on the call, but he had his first
Paul.
sale
Yeah,
and his
Paul Ying.
Joe Montana rookie card did $1,600. Whoa, shout out. So, but I know what's going, and you're right. I mean, use the advanced search. I don't think we use it enough.
I talk
Um,
about it all the time. It's like my favorite tool I feel like we have in the network. I can't talk about it enough.
I love it when I'm at a client consultation. If you have a tablet or a laptop, if they're saying, I've got all these
Yeah.
Hummels or I got all these Yadros, and real quick, if you're good, you go click, 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 and you can pull up your location or maybe Atlanta, or whatever big city, and you can show them what it's going for. Um, and they're like, well, this other estate sale company says they can get me $100 per Yadro. I was like, maybe. Um, it just
Do you
depends.
have the data to show that?
Yeah, I know, exactly. But yeah, the advanced search definitely can show you Even sometimes I'm looking at grandfather clocks, and I did a history of grandfather clocks, how well they're doing in Augusta compared to how well they're doing in Atlanta. Oh my gosh, they can't even sell them in Atlanta. Grandfather clocks, it just depends on your market. Just start researching what city's closest to you, what's hot, what's not. It'll just try to start giving you some ideas on how to create your lotting, like Hummel figurines. I mean, we put 4 or 5 in a lot together. Don't do one. Those stupid Tom Clark gnomes. Sorry if you collect them. Don't put one in a lot. They look very dirty. But there is a collector's market on there. But you put 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't be afraid to make your lots bigger. I think that's when a lot of new owners just get terrified and they're like, oh, I want to put one per lot. No, don't be afraid to do it. And if you have 20 Tom Clark gnomes, if you put 2 lots together, guess what? Those Tom Clark collectors out there, they're going to both be fighting over those 2 lots instead of 20 lots. You want to create a frenzy, you want to create madness, and just make the lots bigger and make them fewer lots.
Yeah, you guys all remember the song Brandon Doyle and I and Sherry Blankenship wrote, right? If you just don't know, make it grow. It's exactly where that thought process came from. Okay, Joan has a question, which I feel like might be more of a Rebecca question, but I'm going to ask it. But what's your process for helping the team evaluate gold and precious metals?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you came to the wrong presentation.
Joan, I'll send you the RIISE call of Rebecca's. We did hers in November. That was like on gold, jewelry, coins, sterling, and she did a whole presentation on that. And we can just connect you with her because she's the one that handles all that in their business.
Yeah. I try to stay out of that jewelry stuff.
Yeah, but I will send it because it's really good. It's a powerful presentation. And I can send you the PowerPoint too that you can share with your team so you can go through that PowerPoint with your team for educating them. Scott Hebert also wants to know if you could just talk about the suspensions nationally and how you handle those. They had a joint one a few weeks ago and he just really didn't have any idea how it worked and he just wanted to get involved but wasn't really sure.
First of all, it's one of my local bidders, and if they didn't pay me, I suspend them nationally because I don't want them to hurt the network. But look at before you want to request national suspension. I mean, look, this is my opinion. If I see that they have 500 invoices and they've been a bidder of ours for many years, just suspend them from your location. I mean, because obviously they're bidding at every other location. You may have had an issue with them. But do not hurt the network. If we look and we can see that they spent $100,000 in the last few years, it's just that's my opinion. But I think that we've done a great job with reducing a lot of the scammers out there. I mean, you rarely see them anymore, but like the one we have right now is the guy that he's one of our local bidders, unfortunately, and he's hurting the whole system. But he's done all these PayPal chargebacks, disputes, and but yeah, anytime you feel like you see that happening, just if it's a dispute that you feel like you're in the right, just go ahead and suspend them nationally for the time being. I suspend and unsuspend people all the time, but we also want to protect the network. But I feel like we're doing a lot better now than we have been. But just be careful with our regular bidders. One of the things, one of my pet peeves is whenever I open up a bidder account and I see one location say, well, I suspended them because they suspended them. And you see it nonstop. I'm like, well, that's not a good reason. Maybe that owner just had a bad day or something must have happened, or maybe they are charging a little bit too much for shipping. But don't let it hurt the whole network by suspending them. I don't know if that was the question.
Well, remember that it was a guy that opened a second account that you caught, and just like to know that you knew how to say, oh, wait, this is actually the same bidder.
Yeah,
How did you
yes,
find that out, Andy?
Yeah, suspend that one nationally fast. But yeah, that one I knew something was wrong. We did a 17-page PayPal dispute last night and submitted it. So,
oh, good luck. Oh my God, fingers are crossed for you. Right
but
now.
whenever we feel like there's someone like that in the network, please email the CTBids help desk. They will contact the PayPal representative. We've done this before many years ago. It doesn't happen often. And they just flat out shut that lady down because she was abusing the network. And then she lost all of her cases. So, but if we work together as a brand and communicate what's going on, we can actually stop this from happening. So that guy got mad because he didn't pay a $1,600 invoice for a sale in Atlanta. And since he was one of my local bidders, I stood up and I said, what you did was pretty shitty. Oh, sorry, this is recorded. But I said, how dare you hurt that location and hurt that client? I said, because of that, you're suspended nationally. And then all of a sudden he started doing the PayPal disputes. So maybe it was my fault, but yeah, I don't like people doing that, bidders doing that. So
Anybody else have any questions? That's all that's been in the chat. We can open it up to all of you guys. Don't be shy. Andy wants to give you all the secret sauce.
I was just looking through a post-sales report. I guess once the auction's over, we can't ever get the watchers data. Is that correct?
I think that's correct.
Yeah, we don't have, but that's a great thing to recommend to the steering panel, everyone.
That's right.
I'd love to add a column in my spreadsheet about watchers.
Yeah. Yeah, another thing that I mentioned the steering committee, we had it for a day and then it disappeared. That I wanted on the sales history report whenever we print them up for a pickup, that it had a column if it was a brand new bidder, if it was a first time winner, because I want to make sure that they were taken care of and they understood the process. So maybe they possibly bring in some of that back. So someone has a question.
I have a
Thank you,
question.
Fallon. Yes, Fallon.
Yeah, I'm sorry I stepped away for a minute to take a client phone call. So sorry, even clients are more important than you, Andy.
Dang it. All right.
So my question was that it sounds like you're doing a ton of auctions and that you're totally kicking butt with them, but I'm curious, and I feel like I missed this. How do the other services factor into your business?
Almost every auction has a clean out. So, but we wind up selling everything. So our clean out numbers are pretty solid. I mean, we're in some more of the higher end homes, so we don't do, sometimes we walk in there and it's perfectly sorted and organized already. So we don't have a lot of clean out.
Wow.
Relocations, I mean, we rank probably in the top 30 or so. We have a lot of opportunity to do with that. So we don't focus just on the online auctions. But we're in probably the top 30 or so in the relocations. I think we're struggling there. I think that that's part of the reason why I got a BDR again, because I think I lost focus in the senior living communities and we're trying to gain that back. I think I
Okay.
just kind of took them for granted for so long and you can't do that.
Yeah.
But clean outs, they just come along. I mean, sometimes we do clean outs. There's always going to be at least a small one or a large one per every single project, but no, we still do everything, all the services.
Okay. And it sounded like, so I caught the tail end of this, but it sounds like your real estate partners are sending you a lot of business, but is the business they're sending you primarily for auctions, or are they having you like move the folks out so that the house can get listed?
It's mainly for online auctions and clean outs.
Okay.
Um, it depends on the realtor. Sometimes the realtor will want the house staged. Sometimes they'll know we can do two sales, so we can do one sale to declutter the home. And then once the house goes under contract, we have 30 days and we can sell the rest of the furniture. We prefer if a client's still living there, we prefer if they already have a place to move to, that they go ahead and move first. That makes it a lot easier for us. But
Yeah.
I think that's what the realtors like about us, because we give them a lot of different options. So it just depends. Every situation is different. 99% of our auctions, the pickups are at the people's homes. We don't move it to an offsite location. We don't waste a lot of time with that.
Yeah.
Most of our bidders understand. I mean, our clients understand that they trust us. We are getting some of the clients saying that, well, I don't want that many people in the house. It's like, well, it may only be 40 or 50 people, and we spread it out between 12 to 6. I'm actually looking at a way of maybe charging them like $400 or $500, and we move all the day of the pickup, moving all the heavy furniture out to the garage or something like that to prevent more people from coming in the house. And but we don't get too many people that complain about that. So, but with our concierge pickups, our employees stick with the people moving the furniture around and make sure there's not going to be any issues.
Okay. Well, thank
Andy,
you.
real quick. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I
Go
know I
ahead.
had another follow-up, but I'll come back to that. Thank
No,
you.
go ahead. No, go ahead. You ask your follow-up.
I can't remember right now. I'll have to come back to it.
Okay, Jeff Newcomb wants to know if you have a warehouse.
We have an office with a very small storage area in the back. We've changed it a lot over the years. We had a 1,200 square foot warehouse early on. It wound up being just a place to collect mess. Yes, we did bring back client stuff if they need to move quickly, but that's what storage units are for. I mean, we'll cover the cost, we'll mark it up, charge the client if they need to move out. I've never really been a warehouse person. We did it for about a year, and we didn't take advantage of it, and I didn't think it was really a need for our area.
And then Alan, you still think about that question? I got a group question from everybody from Joan. She wants to know, is anybody sending out preview to the sale links to your clients before the sale goes live? Do you do this, Andy?
I thought you couldn't do that anymore.
No, you still can if you go in through the seller app and get the link to the wholesale, I believe. I mean, it's been a minute since I've done it, but I thought you still were able to do it. Let me see.
I haven't. I told my clients they all want to see it before it goes live, but then it turns into, they share it with the family. It turns into like a shopping spree, and then they want to pull everything from the sales. So you have to be very careful with that. But yeah, I haven't done that in a long time though.
Yeah, and I don't know if enough of my owners actually know about it to do it. Shoot, I don't know how to get to it anymore. It's been a minute since I've done it. I think the answer to that question, Joan, is going to be no. Not many people are doing that right now. Alan's going to follow up with you later when he remembers that question. Anybody else have any questions before we let Andy go? We are a little bit over our time, but that's to be expected with anything that I'm involved in. And Andy, apparently, he's a talker just like me.
That's right.
We're lucky we only went over 4 minutes. We're doing really good between the two of us. So again, you guys, Andy is a part of the mentorship program. He's no longer really a training center. After the hurricane, they needed to take a little bit of a break.
I'll be back with that though.
Yeah, we can't let him go for too long. He's too good of a training center to not have in the mix, but he's still a mentor now. As he's already said, he's very open to taking calls with you guys. So please reach out even if you wanted to just schedule a meeting with him and go visit him for a day or two. He's probably open to that. He did it recently with the Smithers. And so, again, he just wants to educate. He knows it benefits the network, which is going to benefit his business at the end of the day, all day. So
yeah, we had Mobile, Alabama. There's Charleston came up for a couple of days. Just if y'all want to come up and hang out for a little bit. I mean, I'm not on the projects as much because I have a pretty good team out there. But yeah, if y'all ever want to just come by and hang out for a little bit.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you again so much, Andy. This has been super helpful. You got a lot of really great information and knowledge. I've got Andy's PowerPoint, so I will share that with you guys as well. Just, remember proprietary information. We just don't want to share it with anybody and everybody. But thanks everybody. And I'll send out this recording and everything as soon as it uploads for all of you guys to catch later on. Okay.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.